to initiate the third party risk assessment, how you are going to start, what are the processes. Okay. For that, it is going to be a practical session for 1 hour. Okay. And in case by the time people are joining, we have 2 more minutes for the team to join and restart. In case you have any question, we can utilize this 2 minutes time by the time people are joining the call. Anyone has any question? Like Cybils? Anyone? No question? Harsh, Kavya, any question by the time people are joining the call? Like, in case if you have any understanding, like Harsh, you are from, what is your background as of now?
Hello,
Yeah, Harsh.
am I audible? Yeah.
Yeah, you're audible.
Thank you for asking.
Mm-hmm.
I am from Surat and I am working in one of the finance company,
Okay.
Jainam Broking Limited, as a
Mm-hmm.
information security associate information security manager.
Okay. Associate from security manager. Okay. So,
Yes.
like, you are certified in ISO 27K or something?
No, no, no. We are just in progress.
No, you personally, not about your company. You are
Okay.
you.
No, 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 no. I'm not currently.
Okay. So by the time people are joining, it is just good to know information. That sabotage helps the organization also in order to get themselves compliant. We conduct the audit. We provide the certification by International Accreditation Forum (IAF), which is a globally recognized certifications. So that is like a certification, and the training takes some around 1 month of time for conducting the complete due diligence, gap assessment, and conducting the audit, and then driving the closure of all the vulnerabilities or the gaps that have been identified during the testing or assessment. And then we provide the compliance certificate of ISO 27K from IAF, International Accreditation Forum.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Understood.
All right.
I I think Sonu
Yes.
sir, we can start.
Yes, please go ahead, Sophia.
Yeah. So hello everyone. So I'm Supriya from the CyberTouch training department, and I welcome you all on behalf of the CyberTouch. So this webinar is going to be hosted by our trainer, the Sonu Verma, and he is the certified trainer in Six Sigma, PMP, ISO 17001, CISA, CISSP, and CISM. So, Sonu Verma has the extensive background in the cybersecurity training, audit, and delivery across the multiple countries, including the USA, UK, UAE, Australia, and India. So, Sonu sir is going to help you, like all the participants, to learn about the TPRM and its important and the audit mechanism. Uh, okay, over to you, Sonu sir. We can start.
Thank you, Supriya. Being that Supriya has introduced me, my name is Sonu Verpa, and I have 17 years of background in delivering the training and audit. I travel across the countries for giving the corporate training and the audit delivery. Thank you to the CyberTouch for aligning this call and the scheduling this nice webinar, where we are going to help all the participants about what is third-party risk management, along with that, how you're going to conduct the due diligence on the third party. These days, when you are applying for the job and you are into the information security and cybersecurity, and your company decides to go for onboarding a vendor, what are the risks that we cater? What are the due diligence? How do we conduct the due diligence to ensure that our organization is safe from any cyber attack on the third party point of view? And of course, let me know. I'm going to share the screen, and I will be helping participants in order to get the broad knowledge of this third party risk management part. And at the end of the session, I will ask the team, my team, to you all who have joined the call. You will be getting a CP certificate of attendance from CyberTouch that you can utilize in your resume as well. So let me know once my screen is visible. I'm just going to share my screen. All right, is my screen visible?
Yes, I can see.
You can see the screen, right, Akshay? Okay, Arvind. Okay, thank you. So we are going to go for this third-party risk management. Okay. Now, in this comprehensive framework for vendor risk governance, and why this is important and why we need to understand what exactly the third-party risk is. Okay, I will be conducting some practical session on this thing other than this PPT presentation. And of course, feel free to ask the question. In case of any doubt, please do not hesitate to ask the question. Now, third party risk. Okay. First, we need to understand what exactly is the meaning of risk, what is the meaning of vulnerabilities, and how we are going to tackle that. So, okay, risk, threat, and vulnerabilities. Okay, this seems almost same in our cybersecurity and in information security part. Okay, now once we are going to do the risk assessment or we are conducting the third party risk management, we need to understand the basic of this risk, threat, and vulnerabilities. For example, in the layman language. Okay, Arvind, you're from which background? Can you help me with your background, please?
Yeah, I'm into quality and not into cybersecurity yet. I'm planning to get into that. But I'm into auditing, ISO certified auditor.
ISO 9001 you certify audit?
9001, yes.
Okay, the QR and the QL, quality management system. Okay, great.
Yes.
So those people who are not from the IT team, okay, I'm just going to present this part, this risk, threat, and vulnerabilities in the layman language, and then I will try to connect it through the technical language for the better understanding. Okay, for example, if you're moving out of your house for one complete month and no one is available at home, so what we do? Okay, we lock our house using a lock, okay? A lock of good quality, okay? Now, let's assume that we have supplied a lock at home, okay? We have used a lock, let's say, of 100 rupees, a lock of 100 rupees, lock is there on the door, and no other security. So what do you think, Arvind, once you are back after the break, after 1 week of your holidays, what do you think, what you will find once you reach home? What are the chances?
Yeah, high chances of it getting broken.
Correct. So high chances of getting the lock broken. Okay. By whom? By whom, Arvind?
Mostly by
By
thieves or somebody
thieves.
who
Okay.
had some
Okay.
intention.
Okay. By thief. And what this thief is going to do
Try to get whatever they can. I mean,
is steal things
steal, yeah.
as much as possible. Okay. If the person is your enemy, they may put the house on the fire, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Or they can do anything. So we do not know what this person is going to do, what this thief can steal. Okay. As much as possible, they would like to give you the harm. Okay. So the possibility, what this person is going to do is not sure. Okay. So the uncertain result that will arise out of the missing high high quality log is not sure. Okay, we don't know what this person is trying to do. Okay, so the risk is going to cover unexpected results, unexpected results. Okay, now the threat is always a vector. So in this case, what is the threat? Who is going to give you, who is going to break this lock is the thief. So thief is the threat in the cyber world is the cyber hackers. Now, what is the security controls we have applied here? Yes, please. Ask, feel free to ask the question. Somebody has question? No? Okay. So the vulnerability is that the security control that we have applied here is the lock. Okay. So lock is the security controls. Now, is the weakness, the lock is of 100 rupees. So the weakness of the lock is known as vulnerabilities of the security control. Right, Akshay? You are trained in information security, right?
Right.
All right. Now, when we are deploying the third-party risk management, what we do, we try to ensure that which kind of security controls we are going to deploy to ensure the vulnerabilities is not available for the people, for the vector or for the threat to mitigate, to pose the risk. So what happens? What is the exact bookish word? The threat utilize the vulnerabilities available in the security control to pose the risk to any organization. This is exactly the exact definition of this. Okay. Note. This is the bookish word. Okay. So a threat who is a thief who uses the vulnerability of the log, the weakness of the log to break, which is the security control is the log, and to pose the risk to steal anything that the person wants to. For example, in the cyber threat, the person is breaching your firewall system and getting into the network and stealing the data. Okay. For example, here, a cyber hacker breaks firewall and try to steal data. Now, a cyber hacker try to pose DOS attack to slow down the system. A cyber hacker initiate the rainbow attack and steal the encrypted data. Okay. Now, anyone has idea what exactly the rainbow attack is? Any idea? Anyone? All right. The rainbow attack is that when their person is or conducting the attack on the encrypted data, they wants to get out the key and the algorithm that has been used to encrypt the data. This is where we call as a rainbow attack. Sometime there is another kind of attack, DOS attack, firewall attack. There are many type of attack that they conduct. Okay. Now, once your data is decrypted, okay, let's say you have signed a contract with a client and you are are delivering the services. So the client is going to ask you, why did you save the data on the vendor or third party network? Okay, when you have hired a third party to deliver the services on behalf of your company, did you conduct any risk assessment on this vendor? Okay, on the third party that we are talking about now. Okay, so what are the risks that we are going to do? What risks are there, and what are the way to ensure that the risk is pre-notified? We do the assessment, then we do the mitigation process of the risk. But what are the ways to figure out what are the vendor's risks? Okay. Anyone on the call is from the third party? Anyone? Anyone? Is there anyone on the call who has exposure to conduct the third party risk assessment or any kind of risk assessment team?
So
Anyone?
basically,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think this assessment would be this. It would be, there will be some. We'll prepare some questionnaires based on our aim that
Mhm.
we are trying. How secure? What kind of data are being stored over there? What kind of measures we have already. So all those things we can ask. We can conduct this kind of research with the
Perfect.
vendor with a predefined checklist based on our risk appetite and our risk target.
Perfect. So you have fair understanding of these things. Okay. Now, let's say what exactly in the layman language, what when we are trying to understand, okay, what exactly is the meaning of assessing a vendor, okay, or third party? Okay, what are the protocols? What are the ways and the steps that we take in order to assess a vendor? Okay. For example, just let me let's take a normal example. Okay, let's say you decide to go for CISSP training. Okay. Now, CISSP training is being provided by most of the many training institutions. Sometimes you will see in UK and US, they charge 2 lakh rupees per candidate. Sometime in India, you will see they are charging 15,000, 20,000 rupees. But if you keep scrolling the reels, you will find there are people who are providing the training in just 2,000 rupees, CISSP training. 2,000 rupees in they are giving training for 30 hours. So the person who is Arvind, you're from the quality team, right?
Yes. Yes.
So what do you think? What is gonna happen if you are taking the training up from a CISSP training institutions who are giving the training in 2,000 rupees? What
Yeah, obviously
quality?
the quality will be poor.
Right. So the quality will be poor. Okay. So what happens before we, of course, it is our hard-earned money. Okay. So before we invest the money in any training institutions, what we do, we conduct a due diligence. What we do, first we see since how long this company is in the market. Second, we go for the reviews. Third, we see the testimonials of these people. And then we attend the webinars. Okay, sometime their trainer does not have the complete knowledge of CISSP and they try to give the training. Of course, the CISSP is a high costly training. Okay, once you are certified in CISSP, you directly get the package of 1.25 crore. Okay, so of course that certification is not easy to pass. There are just as per my knowledge, it's just 6,000 people are certified across India on CISSP. Okay, and we have the population of approximately approximately 3 crore people who are IT professionals in India. Just understand why this is the valuable certificate. So once you decide to go for the certification, what we do, we conduct a vendor assessment. We check their digital footprint, we check their training delivery, we join the webinar. In the same way, if you are an information security professional, you are a management professional, and you want to hire a vendor for the company who can work on behalf of you and who can deliver the services on behalf of your company. So what we are going to do, what all steps that we follow. Okay, let's come back to the topic and then I will show you how exactly we do that, the third-party risk assessment. Okay. The third-party risk assessment, TPRM. Okay. There are multiple steps that are that we follow. Okay. Number one, selection of vendor or third party. Okay. Then what we do, BGV, background verification of third party vendor. Okay. Then we do the vendor scaling. Then we conduct vendor assessment from CSRA point of view. What is CSRA team? It's a Cybersecurity Risk Assessment Score. Okay. Now, once we are providing the CSRA rating, and then we decide whether the vendor is ready to be onboarded or not. Okay. Here I will teach you how we conduct the CSRA scoring. Once the vendor passes the CSRA score, then what we do, we sign the contract, sign the contract along with contractual obligations, that is right to audit. Okay. Now, after signing the contract, we onboard the vendor. And then we do annual vendor due diligence. Okay. Now, I have a requirement of providing the services to my client who will be helping me to make the software for the client. Okay, so what is the statement here? Business statement. Business statement. I need a vendor to provide software development. Okay, now with the business statement, we comes with a problem statement. What are the problem statement that will arise if I am hiring a vendor? The foremost thing, client data security. Since we have GDPR, we have DPDP Act, then we have Scotland Data Act. Then there is something called Audits, okay, Abu Dhabi Data Privacy Act. Okay. Now, once we are conducting this thing, we find the problem statement. So when we have the problem statement, we have to have a solution statement. Okay, what is the solution statement? Solution statement is that we need to ensure that vendor is authentic and vendor is providing assurance on data privacy and data security. Okay, we cannot give our clients' data to any XYZ vendor for conducting the business. So what we need to do, we need to select the vendor. Let's say I have selected 5 vendors. Let's say 5 vendors. Five vendors are selected, but we need just one vendor to be onboarded because we have requirement of one vendor only. Okay, now out of this 5 vendor, I need to see which vendor I need to select. We can meet not just the data privacy part, okay, but it is meeting our financial requirement also. So we conduct a CBA, that is called cost benefit analysis from Six Sigma and project management point of view. Okay, now there are multiple vendors in the market. We chose 5 vendors, but my requirement is just one vendor. Okay, correct, Arvind? Right, Arvind?
Yes, sir.
All
Yes.
right. Now, how do I need to ensure that this vendor is compliant? Okay, and I can give my business. They are remotely located. Okay, so I need 2 things. I need assurance and attestation. What is the difference between assurance and attestation? When your policy of the organization is audited by independent auditing firm and the certificate of attestation in form of ISO 27K certificate, ISO 257K certificate, or SOC 2 audit report, or NIST CSF 2.0. Okay. Now, I need to get this assurance. If the vendor is giving me that, okay, I have all the policies. Okay. So how this third party risk assessment works? We go one by one. We first stage is to conduct assurance part. Assurance audit. Okay. Now, what is the assurance audit? Okay. We are going to send this due diligence sheet. Okay. This is called vendor due diligence questionnaires. This is visible to all of you, right, team? Right, everyone?
Yes, I can see it.
All right. So what happens? I have selected a bank, Chase Bank, where the bank will be providing us our services, and this is a technical vendor. Now, what this vendor is doing is servicing vendors. Okay, they are going to provide services to us. Okay, now in order to onboard this vendor, there is a scorecard that gets created, and before a scorecard, there are certain questionnaires that is called due diligence sheet of the third party risk during the third party risk management. So how we are going to validate? Akshay, you are from ISO, right? Information security, right? Akshay, right?
Right.
So what we do in information security, we ask the organization to conduct access management. We conduct whether the vendor has the access management policy or not. It is not like that we are giving the access to the vendor and vendor is supplying the access to any XYZ. So what we do, we send this sheet to the third party stating that, asking the question, do you have access management policy? We need response expected response. Okay, this expected response this portion needs to be green. Okay, this portion they need to provide yes. We need to have the answer yes. If the vendor is saying yes, we have deployed the access management policy. Okay. This is the requirement of your organization that the vendor should be saying yes. However, in the response provided, vendor just need to select the drop down. Okay. For example, if the vendor says yes, we have access management policy, we have the policy is getting reviewed and approved. We are conducting annual or half yearly audit on everyone to whomsoever the access is provided. This is called user access review. Then we conduct the role-based access control. And then, yes, we have deployed the multi-factor authentication to all the applications where the data are getting saved, whether it is a data break or a same grape or if this is a GitHub, like the where we are saving the source code. All right. Now, vendor said, no, I do not have this multi-factor implemented in my organization. So they can choose no. Okay. Now, each domain in the third-party risk management has a question answer with the scores. Each question needs to be answered as yes. Each question has 3 marks. If the vendor chooses yes, let me show you. Okay. See, now there are 3 yes multiplied by 3 is equal to 9. Okay. Now, if the vendor says, okay, I have policy, they will select yes. Now 9 became 12. Now, if the vendor says, yes, I do have the multi-factor authentication also. You said, okay, yes. So 15 is total yes that my company is required to give the business to this vendor. So what we do, we ask the vendor to share this question to yes and no answer. We do not go and ask the policy first. Okay, 5 vendors you have selected. In information security, it is more than 20, 30 policies. So your vendor management team is not going to audit all the policies. Okay, for each vendors, let's say 30 policies for 500 vendors, 5 vendors, it is going to be 150 policies. So what we do, we do not ask for the policy in the initial stage. We ask them to select this yes, no. Okay, team, is it becoming more technical? Is it becoming more technical, Kavya? Anyone? Akshay? Is it?
I think it's hang on target, to be honest. So that's the checklist I was talking about.
Sorry, your voice is cutting off, Akshay.
I was saying that this is right on the target. This is how exactly we also conduct the third-party risk assessment for that.
Yes. Yes, that is why this practical session, I am not reading the PDF. Okay, I'm trying to deliver the value of this webinar in this webinar so that people feel free to ask the question. Okay, pause me in case you have a doubt, and I will ensure that I will remove the doubts. Okay. Anyone on this call has questions so far? Avinash, Pension, Chaitanya, any question? Any question?
No.
No, right? Okay. Now, so this question, there are multiple domains that we have in our sheet. We ask the organization to provide data in the access management. We ask them, okay, what is their business continuity planning, whether they have the disaster recovery policy and process in place or not. If yes, has the DR test been shared, result been shared? Yes, they said, okay. Has the BCP result includes critical application? They say no. Only the business applications are used while conducting this business continuity planning. They said no. Okay, so 1 marks got detected. How many questions? 1, 2, 3, 4. Each question has 3 marks. Okay, so the person was supposed to get 12 marks, but the organization got just 9 marks because he selected no as one. If I select yes, it is becoming 12. Can you see this? All right. Now, one by one, the organization is going to provide you whether the organization is conducting the vulnerability assessment or penetration testing or not, whether the organization has incident response planning or not, what is their backup policies. If they say, yes, I do have, okay. Do you have the ISO certificate? Do you have vulnerability assessment report? Do you have SOC report? Yes. Now, once they mark it yes, this is the response provided by the third party, and this is the company response that they are looking for. So it remains by default as yes. Okay. Now, I need to ensure this vendor has passed the test or not before we ask them to share the certificates. Okay. Now I will go here. Each question is marked here. Same question. Has the vendor provided policy, reviewed, UAR report, RBAC, multi-factor authentication, all these things. Okay. Possible scores, score secured. Okay. This 15, 15. Okay. The vendor has marked as no in here. It's a 9 marks. It is connected to this sheet. It's a 9 marks. And it is an automated sheet team. The moment vendors start supplying their information, your third-party team does not need to go through this entire portion. The person will simply come here. I will say, okay, the total response was required 63. 63 is the total score that the client actually need. But the vendor has scored only 60 marks because the vendor has not deployed the multi-factor authentication in their applications. All right. Now, this is the work of you guys who are going to deal with the third-party risk assessment. Okay. Now, this is called score meter and range. Your management had decided if the vendor score meets falls from 71 to 60, it is an excellent. 59 to 40, meet expectation. 39 to 30, fair. Below 29 is unacceptable. Okay. Now, the vendor has selected how many marks? Got 63. Okay. So how this rating comes? We will come here, we'll write down, and this is selected here. Okay. If you go here, rating part, okay. This portion, we will see 63 is falling under which section? Okay, 63, which is falling in this one. Okay, so this is an excellent vendors, and this portion is automatically updated. Okay, if you see scorecard is equal to H8. Okay, this is falling in excellent. So what we are going to do, earlier we chose 5 vendors, but we need just 1 vendor. Okay, now this vendor is coming as an excellent with a score of 63. Okay. However, let's say there is one more vendor who is scoring out of 63. They are scoring 63 itself. So there are 2 vendors now. So let's assume that there are 2 vendors who has scored 60 and another is 63. So which vendor score is better from the CSRA point of view, Arvind and Akshay?
Yeah, the vendor with 63 score is better.
Sure. So what you need to do, you just need to send this file. They fill this form. Okay. They send it. You do not need to go for this another 6 vendors. You will say, okay, this vendor 63. Okay. Who is this vendor? They will come here. Okay. So it is Chase Bank. They will say, okay, you will write just one email to your third party team asking them, okay, start the work with the Chase Bank and ask for all the policies. Okay, so now what will happen? This is the first phase. Assurance is done. Okay, now in this phase, assurance is half done. Okay, now in the second phase, second half, in the second half, your TPRM team will send email asking for all the policies and certificates and audit report that vendor has said yes, they have. Okay. Now, for this vendor, I will come here. I will say, okay, the vendor has said yes. My team is going to say, okay, TPRM team, please share your access management policy. Please share your access management audit report. Please share your business continuity planning. Please share your BCP test and DR test report. Please share your vulnerability assessment and penetration testing report. Once all these policies are received, we have three things that is assuring that the company has deployed that. What? One is the audit report of user access. Second is the vulnerability assessment report, which is always conducted by third party. And if the organization says, no, my network team is conducting VAPT, I do not have external report. Okay, that is falling under assurance. But what about authentication? Okay, so say, okay, please provide me the ISO 27001 certificate. Okay, so if they say yes, ask them to show their ISO 27001 certificate. Okay. Now, once this is provided, or SOC report, or SOC 2 report, or NIST CSF report. Okay. Now, vendor is saying, yes, I have the policies, I have ISO certificate. They shared that. Okay. Now, Akshay, is this vendor compliant now to be onboarded? Team, please speak up. Akshay and Arvind, is this vendor compliant now from ISO 27 point of view?
It looks like, sir. I'm not sure, but it looks like.
Yeah. Now, this is the answer I was looking for. The looks like that the vendor is certified, but the person may have decided to just throw a PDF certificate on your face stating that, yes, my client is ready to be onboarded as a third party, and here is the certificate. In the market, we have 2,000 rupees certificate. People are sharing the certificate in the market. Okay. Now, I am hiring you guys, your company as a third party, but I need to double ensure that whatever you are giving me is actually genuine. Okay. Now, for example, I'm hiring CyberTouch. Okay. And I need to check my company is ISO certified or not. Okay. So will you agree on the PDF document that I share with you, Arvind? Will you agree that my CyberTouch company is ISO certified? Will you agree to this?
Obviously, I will verify before agreeing.
Yes.
So
yes. So let's verify whether CyberTouch is certified or not. Okay, let's conduct the assessment on this. All right. I am going on IA portal who issues the ISO certificate, and that is an Australian company. Okay, it's not Indian company giving the certificate. I will come on the IA portal. Okay, I will write down here the name of the company. Okay, or if you have the certificate policy, okay, certificate number, you can write down. Now I see, okay, CyberTouch is reflecting on international portal. I will come here. Okay. So the certificate ISO certified company. Okay. So CyberTouch is a genuine, but I need to validate the certificate, whether the certificate is actually active or not. Okay. Now, okay. Now, the certificate number is encrypted. You can see the certificate accreditation body is by Egyptian accreditation and ICV part. Now, if you have the right to validate the certificate, the person will give you the certificate, or you can verify by writing the certificate number itself. Okay, I don't know whether it is allowing me to open the certificate or not. The, to view the certificate, an account is required. Oh, yeah, okay, asking me to log in. Okay, hang on. European risk policy. Yes. So I need to, it is asking me to reset the password of my domain. So CyberTouch. Okay, I verified 2, 3 certificates yesterday. Okay, so it may not ask me to. Here you go. It opens. Okay, now I need to see whether the certificate is valid or not. I see that certificate is active. The certificate is active and valid, meeting all current standards set by the act certifying body. Okay, now I can see this company is registered in Mumbai. Okay, the is ISO certified. The certificate status is active, but this certificate has been issued for this vendor for what? Okay, it is not for any certification delivery or what you call software delivery, but this certificate has, this company has been assessed only for providing IT security training, consultancy, and audit delivery. Yes, I can go now. Arvind, have I conducted the quality audit now on this?
Yes, sir.
So now the certificate is valid and the vendor is genuine, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, I will go here. I will ask my team, yes, the vendor is genuine. Please onboard this vendor and start processing, writing the contract. Now, with that, what is the requirement? Why we need to conduct this part? Okay, third party, because ISO says in under section 18.15 that supplier and third party management control needs to be audited. Now, Indian DPDP Act says data processor accountability and audit needs to be taken care of. CCPA, that is California Consumer Privacy Act, and the GDPR says, yes, vendor has to comply with the data protection. If your organization has decided to give the business or get the help from the third party, the person has not conducted the due diligence and the third party risk assessment, your company is going to be sued by the CCPA or the GDPR, and because of the violation of DPDP and ISO 27K. And the penalty is very huge. And that is why what happens when you are deciding or that, yes, you need to conduct the risk assessment and risk management, we need to ensure that your team is aware of what exactly the third party is. What is, some people are confused in between third party, fourth party. What is the difference between vendor and what is the difference between supplier? They simply don't understand. Okay. So CyberTouch, what it does, it schedules the webinar very frequently. Okay. On different things like third party, ISO, CISSP, Okay. Once you get the insight, you understand the learning methodology that CyberTouch issues, okay, uses to provide the training to the company or to the students. Then yes, we can register. You can register the course. We are starting a course from ISO 27001 and CISSP training as well from next week. That is, I think that is from 14th of this month, or that is a Saturday. Okay. This one batch is starting from 14th, and another batch is starting in the month of March, starting from 7th of March. So in case any of you guys are interested in learning the complete third-party risk assessment, risk management, the proper risk assessment sheet, and getting yourself certified in ISO 27001, yes, we do help the people for 30 hours of or 36 hours of the training delivery on this. Now, this part, this portion, we have covered identifying the third party, assessing the third party, and then tiering it. Okay, whether it's a which vendor. As a tiering is whether it's a technical vendor or non-technical vendors, or it is the attorney vendors. Then we conduct the due diligence, we ask for the questionnaires, we conduct the audit, we ask for the certification, and then vendor selection is approved and the contracting takes place. Any questions so far, team, here? Any question? All right. Now, the third party life cycle is the same way, okay, that we have done practically. We start vendor selection, vendor due diligence, vendor assessment, risk scoring. Then we do the remediation planning and monitoring. And then in case the vendor is decided to move out of the contract, they will say, okay, I am not able to deliver the services because of any XYZ reason, or your company decides to remove the vendor from your vendor approval list, approved vendor list. And we are marking the vendor as SDB, stop doing business. So it is not just that you are revoking the contract. No, your organization's third party will conduct another audit to ensure whatever the data they have saved, okay, whether it is a data in rest, data in motion, encrypted data, everything needs to be wiped out, and they need to provide the attestation under the contractual clause. Yes, the data that CyberTouch has provided, we have removed the data, and no further usage of the data will be taken care of. In case the vendor goes ahead and uses the data after the contract gets removed, the vendor is liable to pay $50 billion as per GDPR. Okay, that is a huge penalty. So for that, you need to know, your third party team needs to know how to help the contracting team or the legal team while drafting their third party contract. And yes, the scoring part I have already covered. Technical operations compliance. This is, I have already covered. Okay. Now, contracting and securities. Now, once you are doing the contracting and security for each clause that we are going to teach you in the training batches, okay, the complete full training, you are going to tell them in the clause what clause they are violating in GDPR, DPDP. If they are in US-based customer, vendor, or third party, you need to write down as per CCPA, that is California Consumer Privacy Act. You need to write down what is their incident reporting part, SLA, and if they are not meeting SLA or deadline, what are the penalties? Okay. Then this is called continuous monitoring. Continuous monitoring means in case of any change in between, you will update the contract. You will ask them to share the report again. If there is no change, we are going to conduct the annual risk assessment on this part. Okay. Any question, team? Now, red flags and escalation, public breach, notification, and regulatory action. We need to tell them that in case of any breach, what are the notification that if find that their data has been breached, CyberTouch data has been breached, they need to inform us within 72 hours if this data breach has taken place because of the insider threat, and what are the regulatory action that we need to take. So we need to bind them through the legal obligation in the contract. The clearing part we have covered. Implementation also we have covered. Now, what happens, team? Let's say when we are enabling a organization, we are doing this third-party risk assessment. They are certified certain GRC tools. Okay, they are centralized vendor assessment. Okay, for example, there are tools called GRC tools. Okay, like Indisoft, Arctic Wolf. Arctic Wolf is MSSP provider as well. Okay, MSSP is Managed Security Service Provider. Now, there is called, let's say, GenGRC. These are the companies, they provide the tools where you can conduct your risk assessment on the vendors and the due diligence on this. Any question, team? Any question?
No, sir.
All right. So everybody is going to get their certificate on that. Okay. In case you want to register for this full-time course, please do not hesitate to send an email to us. Our admission team is going to help you guys with the admission. Okay. Or you can go here. You can go to the CyberTouch Training Institute on this portal. You can go to the certification course and courses. For example, if you want to deploy for CISSP, you will come here. Inquiry. Okay, this company is giving the discount also in third. It was 88,000 rupees. Now it is providing 35,000 rupees of training. Okay. In case if you want to go for ISO certificate, in case you want to go for third-party full-time training, please do not hesitate to send us email, and we are going to help you to onboard for the beautiful training of 36 hours of the practical session. What we are going to do, team, we are going to share all the certificates to everyone. Okay, those people who have joined the certificate. Okay. This training, they will get the certificate on this attendance. Okay, we are going to share certificate of attendance with everyone, those people who have joined and their attendance scoring. And our team is going to reach out to all of you, okay, those who have joined. Please help us writing your complete name on the certificate. Okay. We will give you the soft copy of the certificate on your email. Of course, there is a form that you need to fill. We are going to share the form to all of you. And then, yes, you can provide the certification. We are going to provide the certificate on that. Okay. All right, team. Genuine feedback. What is your understanding? Was this training helpful for this webinar? In this webinar, Arvind?
Yes, actually.
Yes, sir. I felt it gave a very small gist of what we can learn, and I think it was nicely put across by you. Thank you.
You're welcome, Arvind. Akshay, what is your feedback? Did you find this training helpful?
It's always very relevant and practical, to be honest. Uh, with live, I mean, this is how the assessments and other things are being conducted for some time.
Sure.
Thank you for
Actually,
the
there is a complete 36 hours of the training. Okay. In the 1 hour webinar, I try to put across as much as I can. Okay. And in 36 hours of the training, what I do, there are approximately, let's say in ISO, there are almost 93 controls. We provide the 93 controls audit. Okay. If you want to, thank you, Divya, for your help suggestion. And I'm going to share a small report that everybody will see that how we present the report. Okay, give me one moment.
would this training unlock any kind of certification pertaining to third party?
Yes, we do provide the certificate on third party. Okay, and what we do, we just done. My objective is like the organization. What they do not. They just simply provide you the PDF reading. Okay, they give you ISO standard and they say, okay, fine, you are done. No. When we are giving you that training, we ensure that those 36 hours are utilized. Okay. We give you the training on access management. I will teach you how to run the business continuity planning, how to conduct the BCP test and then DR test. I will teach you how to write the policies. Okay. Then I will teach you how to audit and access management, how to audit this any of this department, okay, and then provide the certificate. Okay, give me one moment. Let me share my screen so that you will have the visual understanding of the learning, how this learning curve is going to take you in this journey. One second. Okay, so we are going to teach the students, okay, on training. Okay, so let's say if you are going for ISO or CISSP or third party, I will tell you how to fill this sheet. Okay. But to fill this sheet and generate a report, okay, what are the control sheet we are going to use? Okay. I will teach you this graph. Let me open the report. Okay. This is the ISO report. This is the control sheet, okay, of ISO 27001 audit, where we will teach you how to audit and access management, business continuity, asset management and access management, vendor management, risk assessment, training audit, physical security audit, software development lifecycle, that is an application security audit, including completely agile process I'm going to teach you. Then I will teach you how the network security gets audited, how to audit the vulnerability assessment and penetration testing report, how to audit the IDS and IPS policies, what is network topology, okay. Then we are going to teach you the how to audit on human resource department, whether they're conducting the background checks or not, whether the employees are doing the non-disclosure agreement, signing the non-disclosure agreement or not. Then I will teach you how to close the gaps, risk description, risk categories, risk identification. Then I will teach you how to make the SLA to close these gaps. Okay, writing the ETA after categorizing the risk among low, medium, and high on critical. How to assign the risk status, how you will be closing the risk, how you are going to write the risk owner, and what are the closure statement. Once this is done, okay, this is a complete 36 hours of the training. Then I will teach you how to create the dashboards, okay, complete dashboarding. And then I will teach you how to present this report to the management team. Let's say you have decided to audit an organization, how you are going to fill this sheet how you're going to attest the report, okay, and then how you're going to mark these things as per ISO clauses 27001 2022, clause 4 to 4.1 to A15, okay. You are going to mark them conformity or non-conformity, whether they're compliant or not, in this way. And then additionally, you will be getting the certificate of attendance. And if I teach the people to become a freelancer also, so that people can take the freelancing work from the company organizations and certify the organization after doing the audit. So for that, you need to learn the complete audit process of 36 hours. Any question, team? Okay, this session is getting over. Okay, in case you have any question, feel free to ask the question in next 2 minutes, and then my team is going to help you out in getting the certificate. Any question, team? All right. With that, if I see that there is no question, that was a wrap from my side. My team is going to reach out to you. Please fill up a form to receive your certificate of attendance. Thank you for joining the call. Thank you, Ravin. Thank you, Manish. Thank you, Vincent.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Manish. Kavya, Faraz, are we good? Kasif Sheikh, are we good here? All right. So with that, we're closing the call for today. Thank you for joining the webinar from CyberTouch. We'll see you in the next webinar and the next class. Take care. Lovely day. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.